thing, as you would imagine, is the role of artificial intelligence in accounting. So now, if you are a experienced accountant, which you may be having 10 years or 15 years of experience, you might realize that the artificial intelligence has been changing everything, right? Now you see apps like Zoho, you see Zero, you look at all these small Android apps which are coming there for the easiness of accounting. So the role of artificial intelligence is increasing. In the past, even the totaling of the general ledger has to be done manually by somebody, right? So there was few people who would write the books, one people for just only totaling up, and then the data analysis would take months to complete. Now with the artificial intelligence, that process is short, is real time. Now you just do the transaction, everything is updated, and the analysis are done automatically. So how artificial intelligence will change the face of accounting? It will automate the mundane jobs. So what are the mundane jobs of accounting? Usually the accounting requires keying of the invoices, right? The setup of the chart of accounts is pretty much done now manually, because the every business is different, but there are some standard and common account types. The financial statements are standardized, so those things are standards. Then the maintaining jobs are usually the totaling up, the posting of ledgers to the other side of the books, taking up the invoices, following up of the invoices, and then collecting the payments, recording the payments. Now, artificial intelligence will make automation of all of these transactions. So you don't need to have 4 or 5 people to do all these kind of things. Even nowadays, bank reconciliation is super fast. You just get your bank feeds, and then it automatically reconcile with your cash book or with your bank book, and it will give you a report which transactions are not missing, which transactions are missing. But at this point of time, artificial intelligence is still not that intelligent. It still requires a lot of manual efforts to be able to get the right reports, but the process is happening. Uh, so entry of invoices is automated nowadays, even to the extent that you just scan the invoices, and the app would automatically recognize who is the supplier, which account code it need to go, how much is the amount, if it's paid in cash or not, and then you will just record that. So recording is done, taken care by this scan, right? Bank reconciliations, you go to Zero, you go to Zoho, you go to Odoo, you go to any online app nowadays. It takes the automatic real-time feed from the bank and will match the transactions directly. Even from the bank feed, you just create the accounting entries, and bank reconciliation is automatically done. So ideally, there's no difference between the cash book and bank book, because you are practically writing the bank book from the from your bank book from the bank feed directly, which is coming into your accounting app. So that account, then again, you don't need a one person just to reconcile the bank. I remember the days when we had a head count just only to reconcile the bank accounts. He had no other job, just only the reconciliation, because there was so many transactions that we used to have in the bank, and then that person's job was just to reconcile on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and see whether all the transactions are getting through or not. Then you have legal contracts analysis. Now there are machine reading, like document reading apps, which would read the legal contracts and highlight if there is any is there any in there any clause which is not a standard, right? So you could provide a standard contract, and then you would give and then you will it will automatically analyze the contract which is written against the standard points, and then it will highlight whatever is not a standard, or if something is missing. So usually when you are an accountant, and you would know that the legal contracts can go as long as 5 pages, 10 pages, 20 pages, 30 pages, and there are tons of transactions, tons of clause which are very standardized. And in order to sign fast, you would just say, okay, these are standard, this looks standard, and then you go over it. But there are minute details which can be very dangerous for the for the future disputes, if any. Like, for example, just a very simple case of where is the jurisdiction. So you would really not pay attention if you are in a hurry and you know that's a standard thing, but the jurisdiction is a very, very important. Termination clauses, the standard liability clauses. So these kind of contracts, these kind of analysis is can be done by artificially intelligent softwares, which makes the life of accountants, life of finance professionals very, very easy, because you are now able to analyze them super fast and write the new contracts based on the artificially intelligent software. So the role of artificial intelligence is not limited to these in entering of invoices, bank reconciliation, legal contract analysis. Artificial intelligence is also doing the predictive analysis based on your data. They would analyze what would be your next spend, how much it would be next year, how much you would need to spend, or whether the supplier is going to pay your invoices or not, whether or what is the likelihood of the collection of these invoices, and all those kind of things. They are all done through the artificial intelligence. You just have to provide them the data, right? So that's very, very important change to watch for. So that would impact the fixed headcount of the accounting staff, because you may not need any of those mundane, you don't need any FTE for mundane jobs. You can manage the accounting for your business with just a few peoples onboarded. Uh, in the past, the accounting organization chart used to be like a pyramid, where the top is very small and then the bottom is very heavy, because you have many, many staff, right? But now with the advent of artificial intelligence, it would probably like look like an inverse or like a diamond shape, where you have very few people doing the data entry, because they can do these use the artificial intelligence to do the data manipulation, data entry. The more would be on the data analysis, and then a few people's on the top, right? So that would become a diamond shape. Few people's on the top, middle heavy, and then bottom very thin. So that's the change. One change that you would